Robert A. Heinlein once said, "A child's life is like a piece of paper on which every person leaves a mark." After hearing the icebreakers from multiple residents, it is fairly apparent that the marks on someone's life left by their friends, family, and environment will determine their future and direction. Every experience, every hardship, and every milestone is a new mark that will ultimately decide the path of a child's upbringing. Unfortunately, the marks that occur early on in childhood have repercussions that last a lifetime. However, the men at the Indianapolis Re-Entry Education Facility have the chance to re-enter society with a new start to life and its liberties. Being able to visit IREF every other week and have class with some of the residents has been an extraordinary experience, but also a change in my perspective. The predispositions that I had before beginning the program were completely changed by the end, and I became more open-minded on the concept that everyone deserves a second chance if they can prove themselves. I believe this sort of transformation happened because not many students get the opportunity to go to a local prison, tour the facility, and also attend the classes with some of the residents. Students that plan to major in criminal justice are usually interested in how the system works and all the details involved in making the system more efficient. In J101, we learned about implicit bias, which impact all aspects of the system. Many people do not think they have any bias towards certain ideas, races, or genders, but that is false because everyone has implicit bias whether they notice it or not. We have also talked about discretion and attitudes and how these concepts play a huge role in the system as well. The way in which convicted criminals are portrayed while incarcerated and upon release. In R110, we learned how to become a better public speaker, listener, and evaluator. Throughout Toastmasters, I have learned to adapt to different surroundings, how to speak, but also how to be myself through my speeches. Hearing the stories from multiple residents opened my mind to putting myself in their shoes and having to do with life-alternating situations and decisions. Seeing them become better speakers over the weeks we attended was encouraging and rewarding. This class helped me become a better speaker and prepare me for future communication projects or even professional interviews. I know that Toastmasters influence the residents positively as well. They are now all well-rounded speakers, more comfortable with speaking, and prepared for their future upon release. The once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to assist these men in bettering themselves so that they are able to perform well in job interviews and public speaking after IREF is unforgettable because communication skills are essential in today's world. My V100 class has been about careers, whether it's finding the right job or learning more about all aspects of a certain occupation. This made many of us think about our future and which careers we wish to pursue. Attending Toastmasters made me think about the residents' future upon release. Will their families help them get a job, and will they support their re-entering family member in whatever they choose to do? Will all these men do whatever they can to get themselves on their feet and start over? All these and many more questions started going through my mind since I started attending. Hearing the men talk about their dream jobs, their goals, or even a certain food they can't wait to eat is so mind-boggling. To us, the thought of not being able to eat a certain fresh fruit or vegetable or even a favorite food is incomprehensible. We don't worry about having to struggle with interviews or professional communication. We are privileged with all these enhancements to our daily lives that many of these men have lacked for years. These men deserve a second chance. They are humans, just like all of us, and just because they made a wrong choice once should not determine the rest of their life. As I go forward in my academic and professional career, I plan to carry with me the lessons that I have learned from V100. Overall, IREF has taught me to be more open-minded and to not judge a book by its cover. No matter how society or the system portrays these men, they are still individuals with feelings that deserve a second chance. The residents that messed up in the past and are paying their consequences. Once their time is finished, the men all have plans for a future with friends and family. They have been suffering for many years with the feeling of never being good enough or the feeling of being alone. They are now getting ready to re-enter society, and the men need to know they are not alone. People and agencies are out there that are willing to help them get a fresh start. The resident that I got to know the best was Byron, who was originally sentenced to prison for 50 years, but now has to serve only 20 years of that original sentence. Byron was incarcerated at the age of 17, which caused him to not be able to finish high school. He did not get to witness his family members going through certain milestones. He told me his son is his best friend, and he has such a great family waiting for him upon release, with whom he cannot wait to be reunited. He says he is nervous to be released and to re-enter society, but is also so excited to start fresh and hopes to publish 2 books that he has written while incarcerated. Byron has made me believe that many of these men have changed and need a second chance in society. Byron is a writer at the IREF newsletter, and during one visit he let me read a short essay he wrote about his experience at IREF. The line of his essay that will live with me forever appears right in the opening paragraph. He talked about the day he was transferred to IREF when he woke up and was able to put on normal clothes on instead of an orange jumpsuit with a number. A highlight of his outfit was a lanyard he was able to wear that actually had his name on it. He later wrote how normal he felt when he looked in the mirror, now seeing himself as a human trying to better himself. All because of Byron and the IREF experience, I have become interested in behavioral psychology that tries to explain the behaviors and mindsets behind criminal acts. The fascinating aspect of my experience was analyzing the definite change in Byron's perspective that arose when he was able to act like a civilian rather than an inmate. I can tell that he has matured and realized his mistakes from the past, and just like many of the men at IREF, he is ready to re-enter the world with new goals and aspirations. The intro to his essay impacted me and made me realize how crucial communication and socialization is for the men that are scheduled to re-enter society. If I could, I would thank Byron every day for opening himself up to me and allowing me to witness a genuine example of a second chance and determination that can lead to a 180-degree turn, preparing him for a re-entry to society. Always remember that Emily Freeman once said, "God believes in second chances and even third chances. He believes in moving past the mistake. He believes in helping us to become who he knows we can become."